Colombia, and you might picture Shakira's cool music, stories about Pablo Escobar, and awesome football matches. There's so much more to this place though. Right when you land, you'll see it's full of surprises. From cool spots to chill to amazing views, Colombia's got it all. So let's dive in and check out what makes this country really special. Colombia is a country that goes beyond the common stereotypes people might know. When you arrive in Colombia, you enter a world that's rich in different cultures, geographical wonders, and a long history. This South American country is like a colourful puzzle of different cultures and races. It was once a colony of Spain, which is why it's known as a very Catholic country. People in Colombia are proud of the way they speak Spanish. Most of the people are mestizo, which means they have mixed ancestry, but you also find many people with European and African roots. More than 1/3 of Colombians live in big cities, with Bogota being the biggest. Historically, Colombia has had some troubles with things like wealth inequality and the drug trade, especially involving cocaine, which has had a big impact on the country. Now, living in Colombia is cheaper than in places like the United States. A family of 4 might spend about $1,598.8 a month, and a single person about $462.6, not including rent. It's 62.5% cheaper to live in Colombia compared to the US, and rent is 82.8% cheaper. Eating out is also affordable, with prices for a simple meal or a fancier dinner being quite reasonable. It's the second biggest country in South America after Brazil, with 52 million people. Colombia is huge, 5 times bigger than Ecuador, and has a variety of landscapes like rainforests, mountains, and valleys, all adding to its cultural and environmental richness. The country's geography is as varied as its culture. It has beaches along the Caribbean Sea in the north and the Pacific Ocean to the west, known for its diverse sea life and Afro-Colombian communities. It also borders Panama, Ecuador, and Venezuela, which influences its culture and business. You'll find the Andes Mountains here, as well as plains full of wildlife and traditional farms, dense rainforests, and beautiful coastlines that attract tourists from all over. These different landscapes lead to a variety of climates and ecosystems, making Colombia a small version of South America's environmental diversity. Colombian culture is a mix of indigenous Spanish and African influences. This is especially seen in its music and dance. Cumbia and vallenato are famous Colombian music styles. Even salsa, which isn't originally from Colombia, is very popular, especially in Cali, known as the salsa capital of the world. Cumbia blends different cultural influences, and vallenato tells stories about life, love, and nature. The Carnival of Barranquilla is a big festival showing off Colombia's diverse traditions and colourful fashion. It's one of the world's biggest carnivals, with amazing costumes, parades, music, and dance. It reflects the multicultural nature of Colombia and its people's joy, resilience, and community spirit. Despite having many natural resources like coffee, flowers, and minerals, Colombia has big differences in wealth among its people. The economy is strong in some areas, but not evenly spread, affecting many citizens. In June 2022, Gustavo Petro became the president, focusing on peace, social justice, environmental issues, and women's rights. Colombia's economy grew a lot in 2022, but this led to some problems like inflation and a big current account deficit. The growth is expected to slow down in 2023 to fix these issues. Inflation has affected food prices, which has made it hard for people's earnings to keep up. Colombia still faces challenges like slow growth, inequality, high national debt, and the need to switch to a greener economy. In 2016, Colombia started a new chapter by signing a peace deal with the FARC, ending 50 years of fighting. However, making this deal work, like adding it to the country's laws and making sure it benefits everyone, is tough. Big tasks including helping former fighters adjust to normal life, giving land and compensation to victims, and dealing with deep issues like unfair wealth distribution and political exclusion. And dealing with problems from neighboring Venezuela and talks with other rebel groups like the ELN makes things more complicated. Colombia is not just about its big cities like Medellin and Bogota. It has many different places for tourists. For example, Cartagena on the Caribbean coast is known for its old colonial buildings and rich history. You'll see ancient walls, colourful houses, and a lively culture. Medellin, which used to be very dangerous, is now known for its innovation. It mixes modern stuff with its cultural past. It's famous for things like good public transport, parks and community places. Attractions in Medellin include Botero Plaza with sculptures by Fernando Botero and the Museum of Antioquia. Today, Colombia, and specifically Medellin, stands as a striking example of resilience and transformation, morphing from a turbulent past into a beacon of cultural rejuvenation and urban development. So let's dive deep into this metamorphosis. Medellin, once tagged the most dangerous city in the world due to rampant violence and drug trafficking, has incredibly flipped the script. This transformation is not just about sprucing up the cityscape. It's a comprehensive overhaul touching on social, cultural, educational and urban aspects. Since the early 1990s, with a significant acceleration from 2004, Medellin has become a competitive player both nationally and internationally, even leading in foreign investment attraction in recent years in Colombia. Imagine that, from a notoriety hotspot to an investment magnet. Quite the turnaround. A key aspect of this transformation has been empowering the local people, those who experience the conflict firsthand, to take charge of narrating their history and shaping their future. It's like letting the locals hold the pen that writes their next chapter. Pretty cool, right? Then there's the curious case of Pablo Escobar's house. The notorious drug lord's home, symbolizing a dark era, was demolished in February 2019 and the site is set to become a park and memorial. Talk about a phoenix rising from the ashes. Among other symbolic landmarks, the Birds of Peace sculptures in Plaza San Antonio stand out. These artworks, created by Colombian artist Fernando Botero, include one bird intact and another damaged by explosives, serving as a poignant reminders of the city's resilience and capacity for healing. Medellin's metro system has also played a pivotal role in its transformation. Launched in 1985, this transit network not only changed the city's physical layout, but also boosted its economy and social inclusivity. It significantly improved access to jobs and opportunities for those in remote communities, even doubling work opportunities for some. The metro cable, particularly the link between Santo Domingo and Parque Arví, has become a major tourist attraction. It's not just a metro, it's a social ladder on rails. Dancing is a big part of life in Colombia. People love Latin dances, and the music and dancing can continue until early morning. Then there's Bogota, a colourful city of 7 million people with cable cars and a high elevation. Just like Medellin, Bogota values street art and sits in a central part of Colombia. Compared to Medellin, Bogota feels more like a big city and is pretty important for business in Colombia. It's also the main choice for university students. But it has its rough spots, like Santa Fe Street, known for being dangerous and full of illegal stuff. The Coffee Triangle is another top spot in Colombia. It gives visitors a real taste of the country's coffee culture. People can visit small, often organic coffee farms, try different coffees, and enjoy the beautiful scenery like the amazing Cocora Valley. The Colombian Amazon, especially near Leticia, offers unique experiences like wildlife safaris and getting to know indigenous communities. This helps visitors connect more with the area's nature and people. Tayrona National Natural Park is a perfect example of Colombia's beautiful nature, with its great beaches, palm trees, and places for snorkeling. The park is near the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta and combines beach and rainforest areas, showing off Colombia's different natural environments. Colombia is also known for its art and literature. Artists like Fernando Botero, famous for his unique Boterismo style, are well known worldwide. Botero's art, with its exaggerated shapes, often talks about politics, society and people. Gabriel Garcia Marquez, a Nobel Prize-winning writer, is a big name in Colombian literature. His books like 100 Years of Solitude and Love in the Time of Cholera are known for their magical realism and have had a big impact on literature around the world. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe for more adventures.